Hello, I'm Mrs. Thompson, the Director of Maths, and I want to try to explain to you what the Maths Expectations homework is and what maths homework actually looks like in our department. So the first thing we want to do is, why do we set homework? So we set homework to extend the learning beyond the classroom. And secondly, we want it to improve the retention of knowledge. It's important. There is so many concepts for the students to learn in maths that the more they do, the more likely it is that they will understand and retain it. Okay, to encourage reflection and metacognition. We want the students to become aware of what they can and cannot do. And so part of our homework policy is to ask them to do these reflections, to get them to think about what it is they've learned and whether they've understood it. So how do we set homework? The main homework that they have to do, we use an online platform which is called Sparks. For those of you that already have children in the school, this is replacing Hegerty. So no students will be doing Hegerty maths anymore. We will all be doing Sparks homework. We then also set them small regular activities, which are the reflective part of the maths homework. And both of these will be done in their homework books. Right, okay, so when is it set? Homework is set on a weekly basis on Sparks. And that it can do one of two things, this weekly homework. It can either extend the learning that has taken place in the classroom that week. On an odd occasion, it can also be set so that it prepares a pupil for content which is coming up in the near future. That's very unusual. We do prefer to set it so that the students get to practice more what they have already been taught by ourselves. The reflective side of the homework is set every lesson, and that is to encourage the students to reflect on the learning which has taken place and to get them to think about the learning that's happened, acknowledge their strengths and weaknesses of that learning, and then they can make a choice whether they want to improve those weaknesses independently or not. There is no expectation to do anything other than think about what they have learned. If they want to talk about it to their class teacher because they do want to improve any weaknesses they may have, that's absolutely fine, but that is not an expectation. So just to summarize, there's a weekly task, and then depending on how many lessons, maybe 2 or 3 5-minute reflection tasks. In total, the homework should take a maximum of 45 minutes to an hour a week. So what is Sparks? So it's replaced Hegerty, as I've previously said. It's a series of questions that the students are asked to answer following from watching a video. The difference with this new style of homework is that each individual's questions are set at the level that is appropriate to themselves. So what would happen previously is the students would do a quiz and all the students in the class would do the same questions. What happens now is Sparks effectively learns from the answers that the students give and increases it at their level. So they'll carry on increasing, and then if a student gets a question wrong, then they've got an opportunity to do the similar question at the same level again until they actually get it right. And then it carries on increasing in difficulty. So why we've gone to this model is exactly of that each pupil's level of difficulty is bespoke to themselves. They do have to watch videos, and they do have questions to answer. And so we want to look at how they answer these questions. So you have to make sure that your homework is complete before the next piece of homework is set, because it follows on one from the other. And so you end up having to play catch up if you don't do it. I've already said the students won't receive the same questions and that the difficulty is according to their ability. What's very nice is that over the course of the week, the parents, yourselves and your child are sent email reminders of their progress. So that could be that just to say the homework is due in 3 days. It could be to say that they've done 80% of their homework. You know, the emails vary depending upon how conscientious the student is. Now, I've put this slide in here because I know that there'll be some of you sitting there who have students in the school, so have very familiar with Hegerty. So just to see kind of what is the same and what is different about our homework strategies. So the videos still need to be watched. The working out still needs to be put into the homework book. We still need to show the homework book in class on a lesson selected by the class teacher. And we still need to reflect on each lesson. So those things are happening right now anyway. So those things won't be a new policy within our department. What's different is that we need to write down a code during working out, which they have to use later. And it's really important that they write that code down, because they'll be asked to submit it, they'll be asked to answer a question, and then they'll be moving on. And that's where this intermittent checks comes from. So that's what that code is used. But also what that means is their notes that they write in their homework book have to be very clear and precise, because they will be what they use in order to answer this intermittent check. Already discussed, the level is influenced by the pupil, so that is different from what we were doing previously, and they have to get 100%. Now that sounds very daunting, but that's 100% of questions that are set to the ability of the pupil that is doing them. And so therefore actually it's not as difficult as it sounds, because the program is set so that you are being given a question which the knowledge that the computer is using, it assumes you can answer. So I think that's much more doable. The only thing that's left for me to say is that one of the first lessons that your child will have in maths will be going over all of these homework expectations. There'll be a demonstration of what Sparks actually is, because it's going to be completely new to them. We'll also demonstrate what they put into their homework books so they can see what we're expecting to do. The teacher will lay it out very clearly when they are to bring their homework book in. They'll also show them what a reflection on a lesson actually looks like. So the aim of that is to make sure that when a student has their homework and they're sat at home, they know exactly what they have to do to eliminate any stress factors that could potentially cause. If in the meantime you've got any questions when the students start doing the homework, please don't hesitate to contact us. We will be planning to do a homework drop-in lunchtime. So if there's difficulties with technical difficulties, so your Wi-Fi might not be working, then the students can come and do it then. Or if they're struggling on a particular question, they can come and ask for the support there. And that's all I have to say. So enjoy the rest of your evening.